I'm just giving it a minute here, just jumping on here for a few minutes. It's Tuesday, and so this is your invite to Tuesday night. But also, I want to share a few things. I want to share my thoughts on our war against sin. So I'll just give it a couple minutes, see if anybody jumps on here. I noticed that people are not getting the notifications that I'm live, and I don't know why. But that seems to be the case. And so I'm just giving it a couple of minutes, see if anybody's available. It is 11 o'clock in the daytime, and so there's probably not a lot of people not working, I suppose. Unless you go to a restaurant, then you'll find nobody seems to work. Everybody's at a restaurant. But I want to talk about this just briefly because I'm going to be teaching on this subject tonight. But there's a scripture in 2 Corinthians 10:4-6. Maybe you've heard it. And it goes like this: For the weapons of our warfare are not mighty, are not carnal, but mighty in God. The first thing to notice, they're mighty in God. For pulling down strongholds, and this is what they do, for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ, and being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. And so, our weapons, why do we need weapons? Why do we need weapons? Because we're in a war. Ephesians 6:12 tells us that we're in this spiritual battle, and yet most Christians are not aware of it, don't pay attention to it. If they are aware of it, they don't engage in it. And so here we are, losing the battle on darkness. So what do I mean? Well, another tornado, a devastating tornado, devastating fires, devastating earthquakes. And yes, Jesus said those things would happen. But if we were right with God, if we were on the path, if we were or on the wall, and we were paying attention to some of the things that are causing such tragedy in our nation and other nations, we might actually hear the call to intercession, whereby we could be praying down some of these things and maybe stopping the devastation. Or maybe we're praying for, I tend to pray for God's children. Not that I want anybody to be wounded or injured in those kind of things, but I specifically pray for the righteous. And I use scripture to say that, God's righteous ones will not be forsaken. No weapon formed against them should prosper or can prosper, stuff like that. And I'll use the scriptures as they come up to pray for God's people that are in those places. Welcome. And when I do that, it means that I've pulled down my own thinking, like the things, welcome, the things that cause me fear, or my own desires. I pull those things down. I don't listen to them. Instead, I lift up the God's desire, which is that none shall perish. So I pray for those that are in the line of fire, so to speak, and that they would turn to the Lord and know him in the suffering that they're going through, or whatever it might be. So again, let's look at the scripture one more time. 2 Corinthians 10:4-6. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So it's not things we can think up. It's not things that we can do. They're mighty in God. And I think my biggest concern, church, is if you are a believer. Yes, I did. You don't know that God didn't pray for his own son. Because as a matter of fact, he would have strengthened his own son. If you read the story, angels came and strengthened him to submit his soul to obedience, which is exactly what I'm talking about, and being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. God will fight your battles. God will take care of things. When you stand your ground, when you do the things that God has called you to do, he will absolutely fight your battles for you. But if you won't, if you're going to remain in disobedience, if you're going to live in sin and call yourself a believer, if you're going to call yourself a believer and live in sin, then you have an agreement with darkness, and that's the whole point. And if you have an agreement with darkness, then you can't push back darkness. Are you with me on this? That's fun. Kind of fun. I didn't expect to get mean people on here and all the nasty comments, but that's okay. May the Lord find them in their darkness, because here's the problem with the church. We are too connected to darkness to actually push back darkness. When we engage in sin, we're connected to darkness. We're in a stronghold that allows the enemy to come in and keep us connected to the enemy's camp. And therefore, we are not able to fight the war that has been put in front of us, whatever that is. It's different for all of us, and it's seasonal. Thank God it's seasonal. Hi. And so anyway, I just wanted to get on here a little bit and encourage you. This is my number one encouragement, because this morning my husband and I were praying, and I was literally weeping for those who will remain in sin but call themselves Christians. Guys, you can't do that. You're a target for the enemy. He's hoping you will remain just like you were before you became born again, so he can stay with you, and can, even if you're going to church, then he can be, he can be in or with you, hanging out with you. The enemy can, and he can disturb everything around you, because he has the right to do that when you embrace him, when you remain in darkness. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're struggling with a sin issue, or you're struggling with compromise, or you're struggling with any of the things I'm going to talk about, or you're content where you are and you don't want to rock the boat, or you're complacent in your belief, there is so much in the Bible that can help set you free. I was one of those people. I wish that somebody would have called out sin in my life early on in my walk with the Lord. I wish somebody would have said, you ought not be doing deliverance while you're in bondage. It would have saved me a lot of grief. And so I want to encourage you to just get to the foot of the cross. Get to the place of forgiveness, of love, of mercy, and God is faithful to forgive you for all your unrighteousness. He says so. He will forgive you. So if you're looking for, more of this topic or more of this ministry, if you're looking for deliverance and healing, we are a church, but we do deliverance and healing. We teach on deliverance and healing. We teach the entire Bible and help you understand how to walk out a life as a believer, as a born again believer. Because I don't know about you, but I don't, unless you're reading your word every day, and you should be, and you're actually being able to supernaturally understand it, it's not always easy to come out of the world. So I'm not picking on anyone. It's just yes, build a stronger foundation with God. And you do that through the word. You do that through the word. You tear down the thoughts that come against you, that are here to, or if they're inside of you, things you believe from childhood, you stop believing them. It's not that easy to just stop, but once you discover them, you begin to learn the lie that's in it, and you begin to replace it with the truth. You submit to God, you resist the devil, and the devil will flee from you. So that makes that stronghold no more not available any longer. Let's say it like that. Not available. The enemy cannot get in there any longer if you have taken everything out of that stronghold in your mind, that way that you think. Take it all out that doesn't belong to God, and you'll start to see that you'll walk in freedom. All right. Well, God bless you, and thanks for joining me. And this was just a quick little video. We have service tonight. We're in Arizona. We have service. We're online. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever. And we will pray for you. If you have a prayer request, make sure to put it in the chat, and our team will pray for you. So God bless you on your Jesus journey, and thanks for joining.